Are you an introvert or are you an extrovert? And does it make a difference when building a community or talking to people about your business? That's what we want to talk about today. I feel so excited about this. A little known fact about Emma McQueen is that she is an absolute introvert. And so for me, it's really important as to how I use my energy. Is that you too? You an introvert or an extrovert? I had a client, we'll call her Amanda. Amanda knows who she is. Now, Amanda was painfully shy and not confident in her own ability at all. And when I started working with her, she had not made a sales call. In fact, she didn't really reach out to people at all. She hid behind a keyboard. I'm sure none of you can relate. So we set her some tasks to do, and I'll tell you what happened with Amanda really, really soon. This episode will probably apply to everyone because regardless of whether you're an introvert, whether you're an extrovert, you might still struggle with imposter syndrome. You might struggle with reaching out to people. Your confidence might ebb and flow, take a bit of a hit. And sometimes we just don't know how to reach out to people within or outside of our community. So I want to tackle the question today, how do I reach out to more people in my network when I'm shy, introvert, not confident, have imposter syndrome? There are so many reasons that we don't reach out in our business, but it hurts our business. And all of the things that I'm talking about are such a real challenge for people when it comes to networking and expanding your circle, your community, or your networking groups. But with a few simple tips, I reckon you can start reaching out to more people in your network in an authentic way. And I want to give you a couple of ideas to get started. Social media gets a bad rap, but we can use social media to connect with people who share our interests, right? Share our interests and our goals. There are such cool people on socials and we have nothing to lose. Another tip is asking for introductions from people who you already know and who already love you and who already trust you. I found that if you're in a community, people are so keen to help you succeed. And then the third tip, it's a bit random, but volunteering for events or causes that align to your values. I have created the best relationships when it has nothing to do with me or my business, but when I'm working side by side with someone, you get to meet them where they're at and their values normally align with your own if you're both there. So, what happened to Amanda? Well, in the first instance, I asked Amanda to reach out to 20 people in her network that she could ask for referrals from. Sounds simple enough, right? It took us a few goes. To get there, and eventually she was able to do this. We helped her get her words right. We scripted it a little so she felt a bit more confident, and by the time she contacted her 20th person, she was well on her way. Sometimes it's just about following a process, and I love a good process. What about you? Do you have a process for reaching out to people? Have you sat down and made an intentional list of people that you want to reach out to? Have you done anything with it? I often hear people talking about, I need more business, I need more leads, I need more sales. And my next question is, do you have a plan? You know, building relationships takes time and effort, but the rewards are certainly worth it. One of my clients today messaged me and rolled her eyes. She's like, Emma, you were right. I just had to follow a process. I don't always like being right, but, I'll take it when I can. I feel like if you don't have a process in plan, if you're not intentional with your time, you could just faff around the edges. There are so many people who I see who think that they're doing revenue creating or revenue generating things in their business, but actually they're updating their website, they're looking at their collateral, they're talking to other people, and I'm like, actually, is anything that you're doing generating revenue? One quick story before I go, because I love a good story. I was talking to a prospective client, so this is not someone that I have worked with in the past. And we'd had a number of conversations about working together. And the final conversation we had, which was a couple of weeks ago, was she called me to talk about working together. And she also told me that she was doing all the right things. She was showing up on socials, she had offers out, etc., etc. Now, I knew that not to be true. I was watching her socials and it was very slapdash. She was talking about things that weren't in her lane. She was doing and saying things that didn't align to her as a person, wasn't sending out newsletters. She wasn't doing the things that would generate revenue. And so we had to have a conversation, which was quite awkward and difficult, but honest. That is what people will always get from me, an honest conversation about the fact that actually she felt like she was doing all of these things, but it was a delusion. Because just because you're doing the activity doesn't mean you're doing the right activity at the right time. And that was hard for her to hear. Have you ever had that experience where someone's given you feedback and it's like stung a bit? I knew that it stung her. And I tried really hard to say it with love because we don't want to upset anyone and we don't want anyone to feel disheartened, especially when business is tough. Having said that, we want to be truthful with people about where they think they're at and what we see as the differences. And perhaps it's because I'm blessed in my role that I can actually see when people are doing the things that they need to do to grow their business or not. Anyway, for now, if you're an introvert, if you're an extrovert, if you feel some sense of imposter syndrome or you've got a little lapse in confidence, just get your plan in place, find your 20 people, start talking to people, and it will all take care of itself. Well, it will all take care of itself if you know how to convert those relationships into something else, or if you are good at asking for referrals. I don't have the natural born tendency to ask for sales, so I had to work at that as well. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Let me know how you go. And if this is you, let me know when you pick up the phone how it goes. Bye for now.